When the galaxy first heard the transmission from the edge of the Perseus arm, few paid attention. It was a faint burst of data, almost buried under cosmic noise. But hidden within that signal was a signature unlike anything the Galactic Coordination Network had ever catalogued. Dense, structured, and frighteningly precise. Within hours, the analysts of countless worlds realized it wasn't a natural occurrence. It was engineered. Someone or something had sent a beacon across the void. The Galactic Council of Nations, 1,000 species strong, convened an emergency session. Their great chamber, an immense sphere of transparent alloy suspended above the capital world of Vethra, glowed with 1,000 holographic projections. Every representative spoke at once, their languages blending into a cacophony. The central translation AI struggled to maintain order. At last, the high speaker of the council rose and demanded silence. The beacon originated from the uncharted Terran expanse, the speaker announced, long considered a dead region, yet now a signal of immense technological complexity emerges. Whoever sent it has mastered transmission stability beyond our known parameters. For centuries, that sector had been avoided. Legends whispered of a world that burned itself in war and silence, one that closed its borders with fire and never opened again. The name of that world had faded into myth, humanity. The Council authorized a reconnaissance fleet of 30 vessels, each commanded by veterans of exploration and diplomacy. They were to observe, establish communication if possible, and determine the level of threat. None expected what awaited them. As the fleet approached the signal's origin point, they detected gravitational anomalies far beyond safe tolerance. Then their scanners found it, a massive construct drifting in orbit of a silent blue world. It was colossal, dwarfing their ships by orders of magnitude, a vessel so vast that entire fleets could disappear within its shadow. The name stamped into its hull was written in angular letters. The translators struggled, but soon the meaning came through. HTS Olympus, Titan-class warship. The commander of the reconnaissance fleet, a cautious being named Raylan, stared in disbelief. "That's no station," he whispered. "It's a mobile fortress." The ship radiated no active weapon signatures, yet the power output readings were staggering. Quantum reactors pulsed beneath layers of armor thicker than most planets' crust. The vessel's surface shimmered with shifting light fields, cloaked systems that seemed to warp the very fabric of space. Then a voice spoke. Calm, deep, and unmistakably human. "This is Captain Elias of the Human Terran Fleet Command. You have entered restricted Terran space. State your intent." The council ships froze. Translators worked furiously, transmitting greetings, declarations of peace, and diplomatic respect. The humans listened in silence. Then the voice returned. "Understood. You will hold position. A delegation will meet you." Moments later, a smaller craft detached from the colossal warship. Yet smaller was relative. It was still larger than any capital ship the council possessed. The human vessel approached with perfect precision, every maneuver smoother than a dancer's step. Its hull glowed faintly with blue-white energy, the kind that only comes from total mastery of controlled fusion and field harmonics. When the human delegation arrived aboard the council's flagship, the alien officers were stunned. The humans wore simple uniforms, dark gray with a symbol of a rising star on their chests. Their eyes were calm, analytical. Every movement hinted at discipline born from struggle. "We are humanity," said Captain Elias. "Our kind retreated from the galaxy centuries ago to survive. You may have forgotten us, but we did not forget the galaxy." The council's envoys exchanged nervous glances. They asked why the humans had returned, why now? Elias replied, "Because we heard the cry of a dying colony world near your borders. We sent aid, but your local defense forces attacked our rescue vessels, thinking them intruders. We came to retrieve the survivors. Instead, we found aggression. The council officers denied responsibility, citing rogue factions and local miscommunication. But the humans had evidence, recordings, sensor logs, and the final transmission of their rescue ship. It was clear. A humanitarian mission had been fired upon. The silence that followed was heavy. Then Elias said, "Humanity does not seek war, but we do not tolerate the killing of those who come to save." Back on the warship Olympus, the humans prepared for every possible outcome. The vessel's vast hangars opened, revealing drones the size of frigates. Their AI cores synchronized across quantum networks ready for rapid deployment. Entire divisions of autonomous defense units stood at attention within armored bays. The Titan-class ship wasn't just a war machine. It was an entire civilization on the move. A city of 8 million souls, scientists, engineers, and soldiers bound by one principle. Never again would humanity be helpless. Across the galaxy, sensors picked up Olympus's activation. Worlds that once dismissed humanity as extinct now trembled. The readings defied understanding. The power signatures matched theoretical limits that no known civilization could reach without destabilizing space-time. The Council dispatched another fleet, this time escorted by dreadnoughts and elite units. They wanted to contain the situation before panic spread. But when their ships arrived near the Terran expanse, they found the Titan waiting. No weapons were visible, yet every system on their vessels flickered as the Olympus emitted a low-frequency pulse. Their shields collapsed. Engines lost synchronization. Entire fleets drifted helplessly. Elias appeared on every comms channel. "We warned you. You came with weapons instead of words. We will now demonstrate why humanity withdrew, because the galaxy was not ready for what we became." With a silent command, the Titan-class warship extended its defense field. Space itself rippled, bending light into arcs of prismatic color. Then, with a flicker, every disabled ship was gently pushed aside. No destruction, no casualties, only a display of control so absolute that it made the mightiest armadas look like toys. The Council could not comprehend how. The human engineers had discovered what they called gravitonic singular architecture, the ability to manipulate local gravity fields as programmable matter. Their ships didn't rely on armor or energy shields. Their hulls were fields, capable of absorbing and redirecting any force. Their propulsion didn't burn fuel or antimatter. It folded momentum through controlled curvature of space. To the galaxy, such technology was myth. To humanity, it was survival. Elias addressed the Council again. "We left your wars and rivalries behind long ago. We built, we learned, we endured the silence of deep space. We reached the edge of what existence would allow. And now we return not to rule, but to remind you that mercy is strength." After that day, no one dared challenge them. The Galactic Council convened again, this time in private, stripped of arrogance. Their analysts reported that humanity's single Titan-class vessel could overpower entire fleets without firing a shot. The Council's military advisors recommended caution, diplomacy, and above all, restraint. But not all heeded the warning. A coalition of ambitious powers believed the humans were bluffing. They assembled a vast armada, 500 ships strong, and launched an assault to seize the Olympus. They never reached it. Long before they arrived, their navigational arrays failed. Each vessel found itself surrounded by an endless white void. Time stuttered. Space folded in ways that broke logic. When their systems rebooted, they were back at their departure point, unharmed but terrified. Humanity had rewritten their coordinates mid-transit. Elias's message followed moments later. "You are not ready for the paths we walk. Learn peace before you seek power." News of that encounter spread faster than any fleet could fly. Within months, dozens of species sought formal alliance with humanity. Trade routes were reopened. Old territories long scarred by war were stabilized under Terran guidance. The Olympus became a symbol of order, not through conquest but through quiet presence. Its orbiting bulk served as both deterrent and guardian. Wherever the Titan traveled, piracy vanished, and diplomacy flourished. The galaxy soon realized that the return of humanity was not the end of freedom. It was the end of chaos. Yet among humanity, there were debates. Some argued that the galaxy was not ready to share their level of science. Others believed isolation had made them cold. Elias himself often looked out upon the stars from the observation deck, wondering whether they had become too powerful, too distant from the fragile beings they once were. He remembered Earth, the cradle that had forged them in storms and struggle. The oceans, the mountains, the cities that had risen and fallen, everything that made them human still lived within the hearts of those who walked the decks of the Olympus. "Captain," said one of his officers one day, "the Council requests further cooperation. They want to learn from us." Elias smiled faintly. "Then let us teach. But carefully. Power shared without wisdom is ruin." And so humanity began its second age among the stars, not as conquerors, but as architects of balance. Their warship, born from fear and necessity, became a temple of peace and vigilance. Yet every world that saw it knew the truth. The Titan-class Olympus was not merely a ship. It was a message carved into the void, a reminder that when the galaxy faltered, humanity endured. When others fled, they rebuilt. When despair consumed empires, they kindled hope. And should darkness rise again, the galaxy knew the Titans would awaken.